work. It didn't work. Did it? I don't know. Are we still on? We might be on. There's a little confusion. It says end live stream. It seems like I am on. Uh, a little confusion. Not sure what's going on, but we're covering the SpaceX. How we doing, guys? Are we coming in now? It seems so. Brent, can you turn up the volume on this and see if we're getting the stream? Okay. It seems we're on little technical difficulties. Welcome, everybody from around the world. Again, we just want to make sure that everybody's joining us. We're doing this live event. I'm looking at the chat. It seems like we're all good.
We're on, Blake.
We're on. Brent's with me. We're doing this live, so you never know if there's going to be some difficulties. Some people are asking how things going for us in Hawaii during this whole episode. It's interesting. We're dealing with it. Obviously, there's some situations that we're all dealing with during this time throughout the world. But right now in Hawaii, the cases are super low, like down to zero. Sometimes the whole state goes down to zero for a few days of any kind of a situation that we're all dealing with.
That's a good
So
thing.
it's pretty amazing. Hawaii might be the safest place to be on the planet. Not exactly sure how it's going to end up that way. Right now, there are tourists that they're not allowed to come to the islands unless they go under a 2-week mandatory, self-mandatory, I can't really say it, isolation maybe I can say, and that's what they got to do before they're able to go out to the public. That's why at one point Hawaii would get up to 30,000 visitors every day. 30,000, and now we're down to like 100, maybe 200 at a time. And this whole thing on the island that we live on, the big island of Hawaii, if you could believe, we sometimes only have like 5 or 6 visitors that come to the island. So I would think this is really keeping the case numbers down. Brent, what's going on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like Blake said, we are probably in the safest point in the world at the moment. It feels good. It's interesting what's happening around the world. I think there's something that's going in our direction. I think it's heading in the right way, and that's a good thing. We actually picked up some good habits along the way too, as well.
Yeah, we've been picking up some jogging, and Brendan and I, we never thought we were runners. We try and stay in shape. We surf every once in a while, and we go out there bottle digging. And now we're picking up running. So we're almost doing the 5K, if you could believe that. Running's a kind of interesting thing. Who out there is a runner or a jogger that does it every day? I think we're putting in about approximately 50 to 60 miles a month in running at least.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you guys, after this is all said and done, you might want to come down to Hawaii and join us on a Third Phase of Moon 5K run. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
So who's with us? Are you going to be joining us with the SpaceX as we broadcast this live right here at Third Phase Moon this Wednesday? We're going to be doing it. Make sure you hit that notification bell because we're going to be covering this whole event right here, NASA. May 27th, about 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and NASA TVs. We're going to go live with NASA and share with you this historic event as Elon Musk basically creates history for the first time in almost a decade. Will we be sending humans, from our own rocket system? Unfortunately, the technology is still amazing as we're seeing it, but they got to give up the real technology, the anti-gravity that I believe still out there. And we recently had an interview with a person that apparently captures a lot of situations with his own camera, and we're going to get to that. I wanted to share with you this interview that I did with Peter Maxwell. Have you guys heard of Peter? He states that he has so much evidence that he could prove that basically there is extraterrestrial existence. I want to share this with you and get your guys' opinions of what do you think of Peter Maxwell. Brent, he's handing over me the chat and we're looking at it. We got Kristen Daly with us from Australia.
A lot
Leads,
of Aussies in here, so that's cool.
yeah, leads the fallen. Is this live? He's asking. Yeah, yeah, we're live right now. We're broadcasting from Hawaii. We're gonna get to this video that I had an interview with Peter. Um, we got people. Brandon PH 34. We want the real stuff. Oh, 100%. That's what Third Phase Moon's doing. We're bringing you the videos that are captured from real people around the world that counts, and we're going to continue to do so. Josh Steed, what's up? Back to you, bro. Thanks for joining us. We're actually doing it live. We have about 431 watchers right now, but I imagine by tomorrow there's going to be a lot of people that have watched this live episode. We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. We just wanted to be with you and give you guys the update about our live stream that's coming up and this interview with Peter in regards to some of his videos. Let me just play this. He's got some evidence that he wanted to share with you. And I want to get your guys' opinions of what he captured after I show this to you. And it's going to be an interesting ride. Let's bring it up. Let's get to Peter's interview right here on Third Phase Moon. We're doing it. It's my pleasure.
G'day, Blake. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Peter, well, let's get to it. I want to ask you straight up. There is a lot of sightings going on around the world. What about Australia? What's the most recent UFO sighting for you?
I'm having sightings all the time, but one of the most recent ones was earlier this year where I filmed a flying saucer. Whoa, that's crazy. Basically, I started to see it come over. And I was with a friend, and luckily enough, I was able to get the camera out, capture it as it went away into the distance. Now that, along with a lot of the evidence that I've been able to obtain over the years, has been analysed by Jason Gleaves, who's ex-UK Air Force and Aerospace. He analysed that footage, and also a lot of the other bits of footage I have, along with Jaime Maussan's group, Terza Millennia, Japanese television and Australian television. So a lot of this has been analysed, but the sightings are continuous.
Well, if you're ever troubled by strange lights in the sky or unexplained moving objects, the truth could be out there. A border man has founded a group aimed at probing the paranormal, and he's here to help.
Well, many of us think UFOs are the stuff of fantasy, but an Australian man claims they are closer to reality than we think. Peter Maxwell Slattery says he's spotted them many times near his Albury home in New South Wales, and now he claims to have the proof. Peter joins us now. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming in.
Peter Maxwell is literally like a Peter Maxwell safety.
Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.
So we're live right now, and I want to thank everybody for joining us around the world. We're listening to an interview I had with Peter Maxwell, and I just want to get your comments while we're broadcasting this live of what you think of Peter's evidence. He's been seen around the world, obviously. We're looking at the video, and you could tell that he's got a lot of press, and people are kind of interested in what Peter's been up to. He's got footage. He's got news media. He's done the circuit, and we got him on Third Phase Moon. So that's what I enjoy, that we get to share people's encounters as well as their sightings. Let's just keep rolling this. I want to play this for you. Let's do it.
Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. And with ECETI stands for Enlightened Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It was founded by James Gilliland, who lives in Trout Lake, Washington State, and we teamed up a few years ago. I've been doing this sort of thing for about 10 years, but we decided to bring me in after I was asked to do it under the umbrella of ECETI. And so here in Australia, we hold public skywatches and workshops. Most of these start in the day, in the afternoon, and go into the night, because most of the footage I'm obtaining is during the daytime. So what we do is we get a group collective consciousness going on, and we ask and invite the beings to come in if they can do so. Sometimes they can't. It's just like calling up a friend. Sometimes they can come, sometimes they can't. We have things happening like crafts landing in apparition form, bangs appearing in apparition form, and there is contact happening on a continuous basis, which this has been going on for many years now.
Oh, that power up, yeah! Whoa, that is massive, man! Yeah! Whoa!
Unlike a lot of CE5 groups, I try to keep it basic. We have used EMF meters, Geiger counters, audio recording devices to try and capture anomalous readings or sounds, but mainly I'm using a 4K Panasonic camera for the daytime footage, and at night time I've started using a Psionics Aurora night vision camera, which is actually coloured night vision, and I seem to be getting a lot of activity on that.
Another one came behind it, there's 3 of them. One shot. Look at this one. Orion's a hot spot.
So Peter, I want to get your true insight on what you think these anomalous objects are. Are they interdimensional? Are they one of ours, some kind of government military experiment, or something otherworldly? What's your thoughts?
Well, from my experience, I know a large majority of what I am interacting with. There is still sometimes I have anomalous events, high strangeness, or I see things that I can't explain if I don't have a dialogue, because sometimes even when I'm filming the craft, I'm actually on the craft and I can see myself looking down on myself as I'm filming it, if that makes sense. It's almost like this mind meld, this consciousness connection. So I do have interactions with these beings. I know exactly who some of them are. So with saying that, a majority of what I'm filming is otherworldly. It's multi-dimensional technology. Some of them are plasma crafts. Some of these are flying saucers. Some of them are morphing shape, shifting crafts, cigars, triangles, you named it. I've captured it and filmed it with witnesses around the world. So with that said, some of these are beings that live and reside beside us. Some of them are from the inner earth, and some of them are from other places in this dimension, in this solar system and beyond, and some of them are from what I call the star nations. It seems to be a conglomerate of Orions, Sirians, Pleiadians, Lyrans, Arcturians, Andromedans, Crux beings from Pegasus. There's a whole wide host, and then I'm given references for other galaxies as well where they're residing or where they come from, but it's not just in the third dimension. These beings are coming in from different vibrational frequencies or densities, dimensions.
Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.
We want to thank everybody for joining us right now at Third Phase of Moon. We see you on the chat. We appreciate the big thumbs up as we go over Peter Slattery's incredible footage and the interview. We're doing it live right now, and we appreciate it so much.
So if you've been following what's been going on in the US, Peter, I'm sure you're aware that our own governments are admitting that there are things in the skies that they can't explain. Do you think UFO disclosure is just right around the corner?
We are being drip-fed disclosure right now, and what it comes down to is us, the people, educating each other, which is one of the main things that I want to do with these SETI, besides people experiencing the crafts and the beings themselves. It's about education on a public format, about educating people on the ET reality and the multidimensional reality that we exist in. So we are being drip-fed through these types of news stories. It's, you know, even the young kids now, they don't have to be told about disclosure. They know that we're not alone, but it seems that people are looking for that government figure, this authority type figure to say, look, this does exist. And we've got, you know, Project Blue Book that had 700 anomalous cases that were left unsolved out of 10,000 plus. And we're sort of really getting nowhere looking at the old cases, the old stories, but there is this new stuff coming forth. And I believe that this is a slow drip of disclosure. Even with President Trump with the Space Force, from my intel on the insiders and with the extraterrestrials from the information, what's going on is that he found out about the Space Force and he wanted to release it as if he's creating one because it's already in existence. So what they're going to do is release the Space Force, which has already been implemented since the 1950s, and everyone's going to think it's brand new, but it's been around for a long time. So we're going through a drip disclosure method, but it's up to us, the people, and the quicker we can band together and we can work together on this, disclosure is going to be an overnight thing eventually.
You've been doing this for a long time, Peter. What's your involvement for 2019 and into 2020 in regards to bringing more eyes to the subject of the UFO phenomenon happening right now around the world?
This is a full-time thing for me. I'm an international best-selling author. Some of the books have been channeled. I've done numerous documentaries. And so I dedicate my time to doing, helping the public understand the ET reality and the spiritual aspect of that, because it's not just nuts and bolts. A very minimal part of this is nuts and bolts, and even the ET part of it is a very minimal thing, because a lot of what we're interacting with, surpassing the ETs, is beings that come from what I call the geometric light realm. So they come from a completely different place that resides in source or universal consciousness. And understanding that, you can understand how we're all one consciousness interacting with itself. So I do go in depth very much so with the information that I've been given. I do readings or guide sessions helping people be able to have contact themselves in whatever format that they want. And so there's been a lot of opposing forces. I've been blacklisted at a lot of places. I've had, I always get black helicopters flying over, government involvement with surveillance, these types of things. I've filmed extraterrestrials and taken photos of them. I've got metal samples, landing circle where the soil samples have been tested and analysed for anomalous activity or results in them as well. So what's going on here is sort of being shut out from the rest of the world, which is why I appreciate you having me on your show. But this is trying to cover all aspects in educating the public. And so this is part of why I'm here, and this is what I do.
Do you think some of the sightings that you're capturing over the skies are in relation to the new 6th military branch of the United States, the Space Force?
Look, we have Pine Gap since 1966, which is near the middle of Australia. It's a joint space defence facility with the USA. So it's Australia and America working together. Now, some of these objects worldwide, and I'm sure I've seen a few of them, because usually I get a feeling where there's like robotic interaction with them, meaning there's nothing sort of there. You can tell it's a robot type of device. And there are drones, even with filming stuff, I've filmed balloons, drones, aircraft as reference points for what I'm filming that are anomalous. So we've got a difference there, but there are these objects around the world being seen that can and could be part of the Space Force. But with that said, I believe a large majority of it is not seen in cities where it's largely populated areas. I have been warned that when we start to come to closer for a public format of disclosure, there will be the truth wrapped in a lie, is how it's been explained. So some of this will be secret operations revealing some of these crafts, or they'll release the triangle craft and say that it's ours, which some of them are. Some of them are an Andromedan craft and from other races as well. So there is that aspect that some of what we are seeing is government, is secret projects, is ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles as well. So it's not just a black or white answer on all this. That the shade of grey in the middle is huge and vast.
So I see you're using the techniques of ESETI. Did you come up with this yourself? Did you learn it from Dr. Stephen Greer, Bingham? Where did it come from?
Well, I think what you're referring to there, or what we're talking about, is CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is where you initiate contact. This is something that I haven't been taught. It's something that there's no manual to. And there are people teaching it like Dr. Greer and James Gilliland and plus many other people as well. What I specialise in is doing it in a group setting, but then helping individuals being able to do it themselves through methods that work for them. So what works for me may not work for somebody else, but I know a large variety of methods to where I can hone in on how people operate. Whether it's got to do with their third eye or sensations or thoughts, these are sort of the three keys on how this works. So meditating, putting out the thought to connect with beings that are in line with the awakening and healing process of humanity that we would like to have a group contact setting with and learn about each other. And so it's something that I've learnt my own way, but meeting others in the field and through the extraterrestrials themselves, I've been able to fine tune it over the many years that I've now been doing it.
So if we're to assume that these objects, these unidentified flying objects in the skies are not one of ours, then what the heck are they? Where are they coming from? Are they drones from an extraterrestrial civilization, or what's going on here, Peter?
Look, it's a little bit of all the above. Sometimes they'll send out these plasma orbs or even more of a metallic physical type device from the craft to go and scout areas, check areas out. So there is some of them where they're like drones or droids from another civilization elsewhere. Some of them are beings in their Merkaba, which is their light field. So we may see a weird type object in the sky, but sometimes it's just a being in its light field. And how this operates is they break down to an electron, which is a negative charged subatomic particle, and because all electrons have a symbiotic relationship, they pop up another electron. So because all the electrons are connected, they break down to one electron, and through thought and intention, they pop out an electron in that space and time, although that's all an illusion because they understand that, and from there they re-manifest. Some of these crafts are motherships with smaller crafts on them. They come in all shapes and sizes, so it's a very broad spectrum of what these things are. It's not just one answer to cover it all.
Well, I appreciate the questions answered here, Peter. I want to ask you, so what do you have coming up next? What's going on in 2019? How can people find you?
So for the rest of 2019, events start up in September here in Australia, mainly around the Melbourne area. That'll be followed by an early tour.
All right, guys, that was my interview with Peter, and I want to get, and we've got a 2020 interview with him coming up, and that's what he states. He gave some evidence. That's what we like. We want to see the evidence, and we want to see people that come forward, especially when they have some kind of a background. And it seems like Peter Maxwell Slattery has a background, and that's why we wanted to bring up this interview that we had with him last year. But again, I want to thank everybody who's joining us on the chat, and I want to give a big shout out. Wow, we got 700 watchers, just about. You guys stay up late, right? Wow. You guys are super night owls. We're over here at 10:51 p.m. Hawaii time. And it's May 23rd, 2020. Just so we could confirm we're doing it live, I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that. And wow, you guys stay up super late. And if you could tell us what country you're watching from, that's super cool. And again, we just wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be broadcasting live this super the SpaceX mission. But Veronica Olson's with us. I'm so glad to see this. Sometimes I think I'm crazy. Oh, Veronica, you're not crazy. No, there's things that are going down, and people are experiencing it, and it's above our heads. It's in the skies, and people are having experiences that they can't explain, and that's what Third Phase of Moon's here for. We just want to get to the truth. Kristen Daly, member, yeah, it'll take it's about 6:31 p.m. We're in Australia. Kristen, wow, 6:31 p.m. It's crazy. The time differences. People are joining us from Los Angeles, Northridge, California, Obelisk, sorry guys, New Hampshire, Austria, Chinatown, New Zealand, India, Florida, California, London, Quebec, England, the UK, Sweden, Tennessee, United States, Canada, New Jersey, Dutch, Oklahoma. Wow, what the heck is so amazing that this channel, Third Phase of Moon, and we're able to talk to you guys like this live. To me, it boggles the mind. You guys are crazy. Francisco's from Nevada, Caledonia, Susie Cat, Western Australia, Smoking 528, Grand Rapids, Michigan's Psycho Wolf 5552, Brandon PH 34, Pittsburgh. You guys are from all over the planet. All I gotta say is, if you guys are joining us right now, I want to see an experiment because we got about 660 people watching right now. I want to see everybody that's joining us give a big thumbs up right now. Just hit it hard. Break the thumbs up. We got Michael Mowry from Kentucky, Gary Queensland, Peter Thomas 653. It's worldwide. Louisiana, Shane David's with us. It's so impressive, the power to get out the information, and that's what we do. That's Biloxi is with us. Matthew, Louisiana, Canterbury, Australia, Arkansas, Robert Wilson. Okay, you guys rock. You guys rock. We got a super chat from James Spice. Best theme music ever. Thank you so much. Yeah, Third Phase of Moon. Paul Barrett is the man. He's the one that came up, made his original soundtrack, and allowed Third Phase of Moon to share it. When he came out with 3 albums, Paul Barrett's the man. Renee Cruz is from San Francisco.
Any questions?
Any questions? Any questions you want to give to us right here at Third Phase of Moon?
Before we cut it down.
Before we cut it down, we're going to be covering the SpaceX launch that's going to be happening real soon. And again, I want to get your thoughts on what's Peter up to. Are you guys channeling UFOs out there, making contact out there? Is it possible to make contact just by thinking it? Like certain summoners out there. There's a few summoners. I think Robert Bingham was one of them. He was one of those guys that was out there summoning UFOs and letting people experiment with his knowledge, and then Greer's doing it. Who else is doing it out there? Again, we're live, and that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be giving everybody the update. Launch America. It's going to happen, finally. We're about to prepare for it.
It's been 9 years.
It's been 9 years, almost 10 years since Americans have been able to launch our own astronauts from our own soil, our own country, and it's going to happen. And we're going to be covering it live on Third Phase of Moon this Wednesday. So this 27th, just make sure that you follow us here. It's not going to be as fun watching it anywhere else. SpaceX, NASA, they're going to be showing it as well, but you're going to be seeing it from... Oh, somebody's asking, have we ever seen a UFO? Brandon and I have seen UFOs that would put all UFO sightings to shame in its own way. And with multiple eyewitnesses, different years, I'd say at least a dozen times over the years of our lifetime. But I would say about 4 or 5 of them stand out beyond others that defy any kind of explanation, especially the close encounter. Yeah, Brent's. Yeah, we've had close encounters. We don't want to talk about it too much, but what the hell? We're talking about things. Yeah, we had some gray encounters with about 3 aliens that walked into our room when we're about 4 or 5 years old.
Somebody asked what happened to your moon base that you had at the office.
Somebody wants to know what happened to our Third Phase of moon base, the office, the bank building. Well, we still have it. It's still there. It's just right now we can't go to. We could open up the moon base. Do you guys want us to open up the moon base again? It's a building that we have in our own hometown, and and we bought it, I think, in 2004, a long time ago. An investment, a wise investment when we're young, and a good deal came along, and so happened it all worked out, and the moon base is still available, and maybe we'll go back to it. Thanks for the question. If there's any other questions out there, we'll take it for a few more minutes. But again, the SpaceX and what's happening, we're pretty excited about it, and it's been nearly a decade, so it's an exciting time. Things are trying to get back to normal. We'll see how things go, but in the meanwhile, we want everybody to be safe out there, and we're going to enjoy this launch together. And again, we're inviting everybody here at Third Phase of Moon to join us. So Appreciate it. It was our pleasure joining with you from around the world. Wow, so many people have joined us. The hotline phone number, people are asking.
What happened to it?
Yep, that hotline phone number that we had at the moon base totally crashed. We announced our phone number hotline, and next thing you know, it got so overridden with so many calls. Google wasn't too happy about it. We're just saying, I think it was just so much clogging on that phone number. It was a Google phone number, and I think it got overwhelmed. So we'll try and get a hotline again to get that hotline so people could report their sightings as fast as possible. Our night vision camera, people want to know, it's a Psionics camera. It's called a Psionics. It's a Syonix. Psionics. I'm not exactly sure of the spelling. I think I got it right next to me, but it's a Psionics, and they really kick butt. It really does well with a little bit of moonlight and looking at the stars. It's pretty incredible. It's actually color vision. It's not just infrared. It captures the photons from the period of the whole entire day as the sun hits down upon agriculture, the road, houses. The photons are still active as the night falls, and that's what this camera picks up, the Psionics. It's pretty amazing. Hopefully that answers your question. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We're going to be, again, broadcasting the SpaceX mission. It's going to be incredible, as well as UFO videos. And if anybody out there, UFO channels that are under situations, all you got to do is reach out. We'll help you out, and we'll let everybody know what's going on. That's what we're here for. We want to share the truth. All right, guys, stay tuned to Third Phase of Moon. We'll talk to you guys real soon.